Welcome back, club members, to this week's episode of the Hollywood Hubbies Film Club. I'm Jeffrey.
And I'm Brandon. Last week we did our review of Funny Girl, starring the amazing Barbra Streisand, who, ironically, it was her birthday recently.
I know, that is pretty crazy. Happy birthday, Babs.
Is she...
Like you love to call her.
Right? What? Is she public about her age? Do we know that about Miss Streisand?
I don't think she cares.
I don't think she does
No.
either. I think she kind of takes it on the chin now, like Cher, and when somebody says they're like old or quote unquote like ancient, I think they play with it. You know what I mean? I think they like joke around with it.
Yeah. I bet she's proud of it, just thinking about all the stuff she's done in her life. Like,
I would be, right? So if you're a big Babs fan out there, make sure you go back and give our Funny Girl episodes a listen. I've kind of been on a Funny Girl soundtrack kick as of lately since we did our review, I will admit, which is very rare for me.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I bounced around between the original staged version with her and also the new Broadway recording with Lea Michele.
Well, don't say that because Barbra Streisand fans will eat you up.
Really?
Yeah, I was actually, I don't think I said it last week, but I was a little scared to review this movie because I swear, like, anytime I post a clip of Barbra Streisand on my page, Fave Musical Clips, or even something Barbra Streisand adjacent, whether it's a song that she's performed, whether she was the original, whether it was just something that she did in a concert, whatever, you will always get a Barbra Streisand fan. And you know what? It's totally fine.
Mhm.
But you will always get a Barbra fan who will be like, Barbra did it better.
Got it.
Barbara's the only one that can sing this song the way it needs to be sung.
Like they are diehard for her.
Yes.
Oh
but
my gosh.
you know what? Everyone has their favorites. Yeah, do your thing. But it's just, I think that who could we compare her to of now? Like, I feel like who of this day and age do people like only stand, like they think that she's the best of the best of the best? Like, who would you compare her to?
Gosh.
I don't know. There's a lot of them.
Well, Rent fans in general can be very biased and almost toxic. And I mean, we've heard it from replacement cast members who came in after some of the originals left on how toxic the fans were to them because they only stan and were diehards the originals. But
I think that happens with Wicked a lot too. Like people, whether I love the Wicked soundtrack, I'll listen to it all the time, but there are like Idina Menzel like apologists who like there's people out there that love her and then there's people that hate her. I don't want to say hate, but maybe that's not her fave, the person's favorite. But the ones that love her are like, she was the original and therefore she is the best. And, you know,
It's
debates
like,
like that
really?
happen a lot. But I was just trying to think of like, who could we compare
Yeah.
the fandom to when it comes to
maybe Hamilton fans too. They also are very toxic fans. And
but
I
not
don't- I don't mean-
just
I don't mean to
Broadway,
say-
not just Broadway. I'm talking about like singers. Who
Gotcha.
would you think of like as a singer who people who
like she did it the best? I don't know. I'm not really sure because you're not really having a lot of versions or a lot of someone having the opportunity to re-sing the same songs
Mhm.
over and over again. Maybe sometimes Dolly Parton's catalog, because
Yeah.
wasn't she somebody who recorded music but also wrote music for
Yeah.
other people? So I guess it's harder to compare because someone's not reviving the same music over and over again when they're a recording artist.
Mhm.
You may have two well-known versions but not 8 different versions that you can compare it to. So not really sure.
Maybe just because it just happened, I would say like Mariah Carey, because I think there was just a tribute to her where like they got a handful of different artists to perform and people in the comments were not very nice to them. But you know, it's hard to sing a Mariah Carey song.
Yeah, and also like a tribute, you're literally practicing it for one performance rather than
Yeah.
actually like an acting role.
Anyways, Back to the topic at hand. For those of you who are just joining us, we are reviewing AFI's top 25 movie musicals of all time. At the end of every episode, we are spinning the wheel to give us our movie for the next episode. That way you can watch along with us.
Well, good morning. Good morning. As we talk the whole day through reviewing 1952's Singin' in the Rain. Fun fact, I did not know it was called Singin' in the Rain without the G. I always thought it was Singing in the Rain. Isn't that funny? I just discovered this yesterday.
You know, I actually had to look that up recently because I posted a clip, not to I posted a clip recently and you do a hashtag to try to, get momentum. And I looked up Singin' in the Rain and like it was like 2. And then I looked up Singing in the Rain and it had like 11,000 or something. So I think there's a lot of people with you on that did not or still don't know that it's singin and not singing.
I was like, huh?
Because the hashtags are all off. It's literally like the amount for singing is like nothing, and then for singing, it's thousands.
I bet that's a trivia question somewhere. Yeah.
I don't know.
Singin' in the Rain is a 1952 American musical romantic comedy directed and choreographed by Gene Kelly and Stanley Donen. Written by Betty Comden and Adolph Green, with music and lyrics by Arthur Freed and Nacio Herb Brown. It offers a lighthearted depiction of Hollywood in the late 1920s, with the stars portraying performers caught up in the transition from the silent films to talkies.
The film stars Gene Kelly, Donald O'Connor, Debbie Reynolds, Gene Hagen, Millard Mitchell, Douglas Fowley, Rita Moreno, and in a featured cameo role, Cyd Charisse.
Arthur Freed conceived the idea of the film based on the back catalogs of songs written by him and Nacio Herb Brown. Because many of the songs had been written during the transition from the silent film to the talkie era, writers Betty Comden and Adolph Green decided that that's when the story should be set. When the story morphed into that of a romantic hero with a vaudevillian background surviving this transition period, Kelly, who was chosen for the lead, responded enthusiastically to the idea, and they went to work on this project immediately.
Film historians note that Singin' in the Rain was not initially expected to be a classic, as MGM treated it as a routine musical project during production and not part of their big budget series. The film was nominated for 2 Academy Awards, including Best Score and Gene Hagen for Best Supporting Actress. Honorable Golden Globe mention, Donald O'Connor did win a Best Actor award for musical that year. Wow. He was in the lead category.
Lead category, yes.
Oh, good for him.
In 1989, Singin' in the Rain was one of the first of 25 films selected by the United States Library of Congress for preservation in National Film Registry for being culturally, historically, and aesthetically significant.
There also is a musical stage version of Singin' in the Rain that was adapted from the motion picture, and the plot of the stage version closely adheres to the original. It was directed and choreographed by postmodern choreographer Twyla Tharp and premiered at the London Palladium in 1983.
So this has to, of course, be the version that we get at like regional theaters, right?
Mm-hmm. It's so funny. I feel like London, they really have like their fingers on the pulse of like taking a golden age Hollywood film and like making it into a stage musical. I feel like we see that still. Not that Broadway doesn't do it, but you see these London versions that may or may not have made it to Broadway that are really popular still in London or in the UK, and then we see them very popularized in like regional theater. Like I don't know if Singin' in the Rain ever made it to Broadway, did it?
No.
But we've seen it pop up in regional theater over and over again, and we were just talking about Top Hat. I don't think that ever made it to Broadway.
Yeah,
I
I
could
mean,
be wrong, but if it did, it
I don't
didn't
think
make an
so.
impact.
I don't think
But
so.
then you see that pop up as well. Well, actually, maybe we don't see that pop up. It
No,
needs
but
to. I want to
no,
see
I
it.
know, I agree. No, but I think you're right, babe. Like, I feel that Broadway instead saturates itself with movie musicals that are just easy box office movie musicals. Whereas I do think that Europe has a different type of pulse on let's rebrand something, let's revive something that was a classic, a Hollywood
And
classic,
was
you know?
already a musical. Out here, you're like,
Yes,
what movie
exactly.
wasn't a musical that was very popular and could probably make us some bucks? And they're like, Mrs. Doubtfire,
Yeah.
Beetlejuice. Yeah, I feel like you see that a lot more out
Just
here.
recently, the National Lampoon's Vacation movie. I mean, it's just
Wait, that's a musical?
yes.
Oh,
I know.
that's nice.
So yeah, yeah. I think that you're right. I think that the UK has a different type of vibe that they explore when it comes to reviving something. So, had you ever seen this movie before? And if so, what is your first and fondest memory of it?
Well, I've definitely seen this movie a lot. um, I, I guess it would be another one of my childhood films, but funny enough, I feel like of the movies that I watched when I was a kid, I don't think this was definitely in my top 5, maybe in
Mm-hmm.
like my top 20.
Same,
Like, I
same.
think it was around and it was like, a fun movie to watch, but it was never like, oh my God, I need to watch that over and over and over again. So, yeah, it was, I have nothing bad to say about it at all, but I just don't, it was never one of those
At
that.
all.
No, I mean, like from my childhood, it
Oh,
wasn't
got it,
like
got
I
it, got
hated
it.
it or like, ugh, get that movie off. So I have nothing bad. I don't have any bad memories of it.
Got it. No negatives in the past. Yeah, got
Yes. But I have them on my
it.
papers.
Right?
Um, yeah, so I would say it was just, a good one to have around. How about that?
Yeah, yeah. I agree with you 100% on that. It was also not in my direct like wheelhouse that I'm grabbing constantly from the VHS shelf at home.
Mhm.
But definitely never really turned my nose up at it as a kid. It probably
Mhm.
was on TV more than me going to, put it on as a tape. Like it probably actually was more in what syndication back
Yeah.
then.
Does TCM have like it in their contract that they have to play this movie like once a month? Is
Oh,
that like
probably. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure they must. Yeah. But yeah, I'm with you. I'd never really had any like negative vibes of it in the past, and it certainly was a film that a couple of scenes I deep dive in like film class in college, but yeah, I think I was first exposed to a stage version of it actually when I was a teenager and I saw a performing arts high school put on a production of it. And I was totally blown away that this high school stage could actually pull off the real rainfall at the end of Act One.
Okay, that's
Uh,
pretty cool.
and so yeah, that absolutely blew me away when I was younger. Um, yeah,
I
yeah,
think we saw like a regional production early on in our dating years, and I remember just thinking that was really good, and it was very much like if it's not broke, don't fix it. Like they were
absolutely,
like, this is a perfect piece of musical theater. I don't even remember if they added any extra songs,
absolutely.
but they were literally doing the movie, and I wasn't mad at it. I was like,
Yeah,
just it's already entertaining. Let's not take something and like start changing characters' names and
totally.
like deviating so much. Like, why anger people when you know that it's a piece of art that like people this is a classic. This is a lot of people's favorite film. Don't go
Yeah,
crazy.
don't go crazy because like American in Paris, they changed a lot with American in Paris.
Do you think that it was for the do you think that was bad though?
No, I'm just saying there are certain movies where you have to do that in a way. That's what I meant. You
Mm.
have to um I don't know, maybe add some more drama to it because I do feel like it was more dramatic on stage than it is on film, you know?
I liked it. I think I said it like 12 times during our review that I think the musical on stage was like darker.
Definitely. It definitely was. Okay, so let's dive into the plot here. When the movie first starts, we open with a Singin' in the Rain like teaser overture of the three main characters doing a little dance in like raincoats away from the screen. What are your feelings on this like opening teaser moment?
I like it, and it is very iconic. What it looks like to me is when they were promoting the movie, they had them film this trailer for like the theaters, and then they liked it so much they just added it to the beginning because it looks like something that would like they were like, okay, we need you to promote the film, let's get you in some raincoats, and they were like, we're singing in the rain, and they were like, okay, that was really cute, we're just gonna pop it in the beginning of the movie. Actually,
I never thought about that. Is it like the original like teaser TikTok
I
trailer?
bet you
is
if
it
you
a
go
TikTok
on
reel?
I honestly I think if you look up the trailer, it's probably
Wow.
that.
Wow. I didn't think about that. I do feel it's a little bit cheesy, but I mean it does its job for what it is. And I think you're right. I think it's so iconic for being just a blip, for being a blip of an overture. I really think that is such an iconic scene that they use for everything.
I think it's so cute having Debbie in the middle, and she's kind of got like her stuff kind of looks like oversized on her. Like
Totally.
her boots are kind of flopping down to her ankles, and you know, she's just kind of like petite next to these men, which is funny because I'm pretty sure they are petite men as well. So how tall was she?
Yeah, I agree with you.
I don't know. I always say this, but wasn't Gene Kelly really short?
I think he was, because it wasn't he always in lifts all the time.
Yeah, I don't know. I for some reason I have that in my head that Gene Kelly was a little bit tinier.
Let's look up his height together.
I could be wrong.
No offense to our short kings out there,
No,
by the way.
not
We
at
love our
all.
short kings, but let's look up his height. Watch him be like my height. Oh, it's the third thing that pops up.
What, his height?
Yeah. Okay, not that short. 5'8".
Okay.
Yeah, 5'8".
Was that normal for Hollywood actors?
Oh, good point. Let's see Donald O'Connor. That's the second thing that pops up for Donald O'Connor. 1 inch shorter, 5'7".
And what was Debbie?
Debbie Reynolds.
4'10". I'm just kidding.
Height 5'2".
Oh, okay. Yeah, so it worked. It was cute.
They do a great job flanking the boys next to her, though. I think that in a lot of the shots that they do a fantastic job with plopping her in the center, which it does kind of seem like a no-brainer, right? But choreography wise, it could be more challenging to have to dance between both of them. So I think they do a good job with that. The film opens. It is 1927. Silent film stars Don Lockhart, played by Gene Kelly, and Lena Lamont, played by Gene Hagen, attend the premiere of their latest film, The Royal Rascal, produced by Hollywood studio Monumental Pictures. We get an opening, like the classic opening Hollywood red carpet scene here, you guys.
Is this the Pantages again?
Who knows?
I don't know.
I mean, this is something that we get in a lot of these movie musicals, like the typical Hollywood premiere opening. There are two ladies that are chewing their gum in the crowd, reading their Don Lockhart magazine, that are so funny, and I think they use those same two ladies inside the theater as well. But yeah, they don't even they have words inside, they have lines inside the theater, but outside they're just like smacking their gum, like waiting for Don to come out of his limo. Yeah, just really like funny, cute little scene between them. The costumes in this scene, unbelievable. I mean, we right from the get-go, we are just like hit with some beautiful costumes of that era.
Yeah, that's why when we were explaining earlier about this being a not big budget film for MGM and how it was one of their,
routine music.
Yeah,
that's
it was
how
like
they call it.
Routine music.
That's how it says it in
I think those are probably like the ones that are going to make money, and if one of their big prestige films doesn't make a lot of money, like these smaller films will probably just like eat them up.
Yeah, keep them afloat.
Yeah.
Right?
yeah, kind of like I know a lot of film noir movies were like that, like didn't need a big budget, cowboy films,
Sure.
war films, like things. Well, maybe not war films because that would actually need
Cowboy
like
films, westerns,
cowboy films.
cowboy films.
Oh God!
But yes,
I never watched those, obviously.
But you are so right, though, babe. I think that it helps balance out when your big budget picture might not do that great.
Yeah. So when we were reading that, I was like, really? Because this film's costumes are on point. They're, you know, big numbers, especially when we get to the Broadway Melody or whatever. Is that what it was?
Broadway Melody is pretty big, and then the other one that is pretty
the one
lavish.
with Cyd Charisse. Is that
Broadway? That's Broadway Melody.
Okay.
Yes.
When we got there and it was huge, like I was like, this looks like a prestige film. So I don't know why it would be considered one of their like mid-budget throwaways.
Right.
So that's just funny to me. Maybe because MGM is so huge that one of their mid-budget movies looks like a big budget movie to another studio. Because I'm like, this is not like, this looks good.
I will say, set-wise, though, they aren't in that many places. It's a lot of apartments and studios again, and more studios and the street. Like, there's not that... There's... Yeah, not a lot of destinations that they have to take care of in this film. No. So maybe that also... They kept things very just in-house.
Yeah, they didn't really need to, considering they're just, like, they are filming pictures. So it's not like they needed to be on, like, location anywhere.
For sure.
Like, they were just, we're filming a movie about filming movies, so we can just be on a studio.
Yeah, let's go in our studio and film this.
Can we also do a little shout out to Zelda, who is played by Rita Moreno? Like, who is this OG gold digger, like OG kitty from The Drowsy Chaperone?
Yes, she is such an OG kitty.
Yeah, like the
dress is cute, the hairstyle, right?
I love her man who's like 102 years old, like ready to kick the bucket, and she's like, give me the money.
Oh my God. Yeah, super cute. So she pops up like what, 3 or 4 times throughout the film?
Yeah, she's the reason that the jig is up at the end.
Right. That's right. Yeah.
So, you know, she does get her few little moments, and they are really cute.
There also is a kind of a character that doesn't have too many lines that reminded me of Gloria Swanson last night. Remember?
Yeah, she's like the I don't know, like dramatic.
Yes.
Kiss of the Spider Woman, seductress. Like,
She's
I'm sure she had those like women's pictures back in the day, like the, you know, the very romantic epics. But yeah, I loved her. Her outfit was kind of like a spider, wasn't it? Like in the back, I love that her back looked like it had spider webs.
Yes, and even her like fascinator had like really thin, I think, like feathers coming off of it that made it look kind of like creepy and spider like that. But yeah, costumes are all fantastic in this opening scene. On the red carpet, we meet Don, who is telling the story of his rise to stardom, claiming to have grown up, you know, cultured and highly educated, which is of course not the case.
We have to talk about, before we get to Don's story, we have to talk about the sad moment when Cosmo gets out of the car, because he comes out first and everyone's like, who is it? And then it's Donald O'Connor as Cosmo, and then everyone's like,
like bummer.
Like, yeah, and it's so sad. And it was funny because like he walks up to go talk to this Hedda Hopper esque person,
can't even get any words out.
And well, she's talking to him, and then it was just funny because we both were like, "Aw, cute," because he's just like the cutest little actor. Like, really, he's adorable. But yeah, I just thought I'd bring that up because then the next car comes up, and it is Don and Lena, and everyone just goes wild crazy for like the golden couple, America's sweethearts.
Yeah. Of course, the conversation, quickly goes to Don once he gets up to the microphone. Like she's not really interested in hearing Cosmo's story.
Does she interrupt him? Like, is he in the middle of talking and she's like, "Oh my God, it's Don and Lena," or whatever? I have a feel. I can't remember.
Yeah,
And that
no,
was last night we
no,
watched it,
definitely,
Jesus.
definitely. You know, it is interesting too because this is our first hint of noticing as a viewer that Don is not really letting Lena speak at all. He's basically bogarting all of the conversations. This happens here and it happens later on when they go out on the stage.
You just see her kind of open her mouth ready, and then he like jumps in there.
And he
How
does her
could she have
side eyes.
possibly gotten through this? Like, at this point, she's already an A-list star. What was she doing before she had him on the red carpet? I know it's a comedy.
Right.
I know it's a comedy bit.
Yeah.
But, you know, these things get me thinking because she was a star before she met Don. What, like, who was she on the carpet with? Or did people just not care and they wanted people to forget? I don't know.
No, I think you're right, though. We've got to really stretch our imaginations here because even when they do the flashbacks of him, his not so cultured life, because obviously he talked it up for this Hedda Hopper character. He really, you know, had
all of his stories of childhood are like, you know, very the positive version, and then they show all of what
him
really
and Cosmo
happened
growing up, and they're like picking up quarters from the floor. They're doing their little vaudeville sketches to make by, and then Don starts out as like a stunt man and gets noticed that way, working as a stunt actor in his flashbacks.
Can we talk about how gorgeous Jean Hagen is, though? Like when she gets out of this limo and she's there with Gene Kelly, like I love her outfit, I love her hair. She could have been a silent movie star because we bring this up a few times during the movie that like she has the best facial expressions. So seeing her here not being able to speak, she still is giving face. When they're showing the flashbacks of her like filming this cowboy movie and she's like getting, you know, she's being held by the villain and she's like making the ooh faces. She just has the most expressive face and she's so beautiful. Like I know that she's probably my favorite character of the film.
Well, clearly the Academy, that performance caught their eye. You know, there's something about this role, and I think you're right. She does a lot with very little. She doesn't speak for the first like 15 minutes of the film. So yeah,
I love when a villain, or yeah, she is the villain. I would say I love when a villain can be so fierce and so funny that like you kind of get the audience. You have the heroine right there, like Debbie Reynolds, who we'll meet later, you know, but you have her right there. But when people talk about this film, I feel like it is, people talk so much about Lena and like they quote Lena and you get this kind of twist of like the so bad that they're good. Like people just have like an appreciation for that. Like you think of like, I don't know, Yzma from from the Emperor's New Groove, or just like I don't know, most recently you think of Weapons and Aunt Gladys. Like these people that are just so interesting, like their outfits are so interesting, their voices are so interesting, the things that they say are so funny that people are like, I love you, even though you're evil, even though you're mean. I freaking love you. And she's just like the epitome of that. Like,
I think you're right. Quite frankly, she should be on the poster, just like Guys and Dolls. It should be a foursome that's on that poster, you know?
Yeah. Or even if they just posted her in the corner making a dirty look or something. I don't know. But she is a lot of the comedic lines in this movie.
Yes, I agree with you. Definitely the most quoted. So during his flashbacks, we do get a musical number with Dawn and Cosmo performing a vaudeville song called "Fit as a Fiddle." What are your thoughts on this first song? This is like our first official song, if we're not counting the little, you know, overture mini Singin' in the Rain. This is the first song, "Fit as a Fiddle." What are your thoughts?
Song, okay. Performance, like I could watch Gene Kelly and Donald O'Connor dance all day. This weird, like, I don't want to say weird, this very cool shuffle dance that they do while
Like
they're kind of
shuffle tap.
it's not like a Charleston. I don't know what it is, but like the moves are like their legs go so far apart, and it's like they're like traveling in a circle around each other, but like you look at where they land and your step is so far to get you where you need to go, but it's this huge kind of shuffle move that they do, and they do it in perfect like synchronicity. Like they're just so good.
Yeah, I love when Donald jumps on Jean's back. I would say I agree with you. The song is a bit forgettable, but the performance is great. And so I think they really hit the nail on the head with that being as part of their like best buddies flashback song. And their plaid suits are so cool.
I know. I was thinking in my head like that would be a really cute Halloween costume.
The whole Good Mornin, Good Mornin would be a great Halloween getup to do with a third.
Courtney. We have a friend who we dress up every Halloween with, and we always try to figure out a costume that is perfect for 2 men and 1 woman. And we've done the Duke, Satine, and Christian.
That was
and actually, wait. You weren't the Duke. Oh my God, I'm remembering wrong.
That's
you
right.
were Harold Ziedler.
Duh.
Oh my gosh.
Duh.
I think
but I do,
Courtney.
I love the Duke though.
Yeah, I think Courtney wanted you to be the Duke because it would have made more sense to have like Satine with her 2 like love interests. It would have been cute. But you were like, no, I want to be Ziedler.
Yeah, for sure.
And then another year we did Lestat and Louis and Claudia.
That was awesome.
And those pictures are so cool.
So cool.
That was a fun Halloween. So yeah, we still have to think about what we're going to do this year.
This would be a cute, easy one that wouldn't take too much effort.
Yeah, but that would have to be. You would have to go to a specific party.
You know
what?
Like right. It would have to be a theater type of event.
Yeah, it would have to be like a classic movie event.
You're
or
right.
Something.
You're so right.
Like no, everybody else would be like, "Oh, you guys are doing. You guys just like to dress retro. That's cool."
Oh my gosh! You know, it would be good to dress like that to go see Singing in the Rain somewhere.
Yeah, that would be cute.
That would be fun. Anyway, the plaid suits totally adorable.
Yeah, and I don't want to say that the song is bad. The song is good. It's just when I say things like that, how I rate my songs is, do I listen to them when I listen to the soundtrack? I don't see myself going out of my way to listen to Fit as a Fiddle like in my headphones. I want to watch it. But there are other songs that I may be like, oh, that's a really good song. I'm going to listen to that outside of the movie. That's how I rate my songs. I don't know if anyone else does.
No,
but
that's
like,
a great way to say it. That is a great ranking for it. You know, you're not going out of your way to skip to that song. Yeah, I get it.
But would I watch the performance? I love a good vaudeville performance in a movie. I love anything that when they show someone's past in vaudeville and they got to do some like shuffly, circly dance move and then, play.
There's no business like show business has so many of those cute scenes with like the kids growing up and them having to show like their rise to stardom going through the vaudeville circuit. That era is just so awesome.
That's another film with Donald O'Connor, right? He was just a good one to have in a movie if you needed a really
solid,
good,
right?
Comedian, dancer, whatever. Like, but yeah, good scene.
Don also expresses his admiration for Lena, feeding rumors of the secret romance between them. In reality, the rumors are all just a publicity stunt. Don actually barely tolerates Lena, and although she believes that he loves her, so she's wrapped up in all of this whole Hollywood love affair between them, even though they're not really dating and Don can't stand her.
When they do the flashbacks of Monumental Pictures, I think I asked you this while we were watching it. Are we to believe that Monumental Pictures was not doing very well before the Don and Lena
I think so.
Duo that kind of made them, I guess?
Yes.
Because you see when he says that he went to Monumental and then you see him on the set of this Western film, they show the outside of the theater, of the studio, and it looks like I don't know, it looks kind of run down. There's kind
Sure.
of like boxes around, I think.
Yeah,
There's
I
kind of
see
like
what you're saying.
overgrown. I don't know. To me, I was like, oh, were they not doing too well until Don and Lena kind of like blew them out of the water and made
Mhm.
them a big hit?
Yeah, I could see how it could be
That's how I like to
perceived
think
that
of it, I
way.
guess.
Mhm. We do get a scene of the actual silent film indoors too, like at the actual premiere of the film. We get our first glimpse of Lena's voice here backstage after Dawn he like grabs her off stage before she can thank the audience. He gets to of course thank the audience, but he like quickly scoots her off stage before she can open her mouth.
Hmm.
Such a Jennifer Tilly type of role, right? I could see her nailing this role on stage in a like current revival of this
Oh, for
musical.
sure. I mean, would you not say that her role in Bullets Over Broadway was not inspired
I would
by
say
Lena Lamont? Like, I
yes.
feel like she had the spirit of Lena Lamont. Like, it was
I would
very
say
much
that.
so
Yes.
that type of role.
Mhm.
Um, while I was doing my little uh research on the different characters, because I too, when I saw Lena's first lines, I was like, oh, it's very Jennifer Tilly and it's very Judy Holliday, and
Absolutely.
very Judy Holliday in Born Yesterday.
Mhm.
And then I looked online and it said that Jean Hagen was fresh off of her role in The Asphalt Jungle, and she won a reading for the part for producer Arthur Freed, doing a dead-on impression of Billy Dawn, Judy Holliday's character from Born Yesterday. So
Oh,
she did that
interesting.
voice
As the audition
as the
voice.
audition, and I'm
That's
guessing they
cool.
loved it. So maybe she's not still doing a perfect version. Maybe they wanted a like turn up the
Like
volume
a
version,
caricature of
because
it.
I don't think, you know, it gives me Judy Holliday in Born Yesterday, but I think it's a more caricature version.
Of course. Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just so funny because I could see her in that role. I could see Jean Hagen playing that role
Mhm.
of Billy
In a
on
stage version.
Broadway.
Mhm.
I could see Jennifer Tilly playing this role on Broadway.
Right?
Like, there's so many of those characters and those, these people that kind of have that similar essence that like it's like comedy gold. But anyway,
After the premiere, Don is mobbed by fans and he has to do this Hollywood escape scene as his tuxedo's being ripped apart off of him and he jumps into a passing by driving car and it is Kathy Selden played by Debbie Reynolds. Kathy reluctantly gives Dawn a lift. She claims to be a theater actress and expresses her disdain for film acting, particularly Dawn's hammy performances. Dawn responds by mocking her acting aspirations, and they part on bad terms as she drops him off. This scene is what we now call a meet cute scene in
this is like
film.
the epitome of a meet cute.
Right. A meet cute, for everyone out there, is a amusing, charming, or embarrassing first encounter that you get between two characters in a film or a TV show that will spark the romantic relationship momentum. It will spark that part of the storyline. The scenes are usually staged pretty unrealistic, as Jeffrey just said. This really is like the epitome of one, like escaping a party, jumping into a passing by car, and it
Mhm.
happens to be your future love interest. I mean, yeah.
Mhm.
But I I mean, our first introduction to Debbie here, I love just automatically how kind of like brash she is about everything, like just doesn't care, just kind of sharing her opinion. Um,
I loved her freaking out about like, "Who are you? Oh, I've seen your face before. You're probably a mobster.
yeah,
You're
like
probably
you're
a burger."
wanted or something
Yeah.
like that.
But it was super cute.
You're a wanted criminal. I love her cackling at the end too when she drops him off and the tail of his tux is stuck in the door and it like
Mhm.
rips even more. And she just, yeah, it's just her laugh is so great.
Yeah, funny scene. I did love that it was kind of like a hit to Dawn's ego that like she didn't know who he was, and then when she did, she was just kind of like not impressed.
Yeah.
And like it was just crazy that like her not knowing who he was like annoyed him so much, because I'm like, sir, what were you expecting? Like, not anything like naughty, but I mean like the way that he just kind of like was like, how you could kind of see it in his face, like, I can't believe she doesn't know who I am.
Yeah, like how dare her not fawn over me, right?
Exactly. I was like, ew. Like, but you know, it's
Hopefully-
part of the role.
Hopefully Gene Kelly wasn't really like that in real life. Let's hope so.
I don't know, but I don't. Yeah, I forgot to say this early on when they were doing the close-ups on him. His face is like beat for the gods.
Oh, the amount of makeup he uses.
The amount of makeup that Miss Janine Kelly has on is
Yeah, the
like
eyeliner and the shadow is like, yikes.
I know it's Hollywood. I know that men wore makeup. Okay, we get it. Like, you want to look good, we got it.
American in Paris, he was like that too. So it's not just the
You know what?
1920s, you know?
You know what else I think it is that he is playing. I've noticed a theme where he is playing a lot younger than what he actually was at the time. Like the people playing roles around him are in their
Donald is
27. Debbie Reynolds was 19, and then Gene Kelly was 39. And not to say that that is old at all, but they usually have him playing someone younger because and it's not just that these two friends could be different ages. They showed them as boys.
Correct.
So he really is playing the same age as Cosmo.
Correct.
So, you know, nothing about it. He looks great. I'm just saying you could look great with a little bit less of the, like, his face was fully made up.
And Gene was 28.
Huh?
So Gene was, I'm sorry.
Gene was 39.
Gene Hagen.
Oh!
was
Gene Hagen.
Was 28.
Okay.
So yeah, you've got someone significant. I mean, 10 years older in that pack. It does show a bit. Once again, we're not being ageist here. We're just saying they are like beating his face down with makeup.
It's, you know what? The other reason I want to bring it up is that he looks good. He is a handsome, youthful looking man, but I feel like him doing the makeup. Oh my god, our husky is just having a little sneezing fit right now, and yeah, she's so cute. Anyway, nothing against Gene Kelly and his makeup, but I think that he was trying to possibly look younger than he was, but it was bringing more it more to the forefront that he was trying to like wear more makeup to kind of hide it.
Yeah,
more
makeup isn't necessarily.
That's my theory.
Solve
that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Dawn arrives to the after party where Monumental Pictures CEO R.F. Simpson, played by Millard Mitchell, shows a demonstration of a talkie picture. Though his guests are not that impressed with the fad. In fact, they all start saying, like, are you behind the screen talking? They're trying to, like, call him on his bluff. But this is the introduction we get to an example of a talking picture.
Can we talk about something I noticed in this scene? Is Parker Posey a time traveler?
I think Parker Posey lookalike?
Yeah, like, yeah, do we have proof of time travel now? Because there is, during this scene where they're showing this talking picture, the actress to the right of the screen is dead on for Parker Posey. And not just like from a certain angle, like when she's talking and stuff and you see her face, I was like, that is Parker Posey.
We have Zelda at the party. We get the Gloria Swanson character at the party.
Can we give her a name, please?
Spider-Woman at the party. And now we've got Parker Posey. Quite the corral of celebrities at this event.
Yes, I love it. Buddhism. Tsunami. I love her. Anyway.
After they show the talkie film, a group of chorus girls come out to perform for all of the guests, and Kathy is among these performers. The song we get here is called All I Do Is Dream of You. Thoughts on this song?
Now this song is a freaking earworm, and it's probably the cutest little number in the entire film. I love their pink outfits.
Mhm.
I love the song. It's so cute.
I was like, is it safe to say this is Jeffrey's favorite song in the film?
I have posted this clip because it is so cute. It's crazy to me that Debbie Reynolds was so young when she made this film. Because talk about a professional.
Mhm.
Like, I don't know if you want to bring up your favorite part of the number, because it's probably my favorite part of the number.
Say it.
When they're doing this number and that streamer comes down and it now is on her head, laying across her face, the way that she flings this streamer and gives this little like cute annoyed face, like, I feel like this is something that really good actors have. And I'm not an actor. This is what I see. And this is because we go to a lot of theater, and one of my favorite things, maybe not for the person up on stage, but as a theater goer and in general, when something on stage doesn't go right, or someone may kind of like stumble over a line, or something may fall or whatever, the way that you react to that and the way that you figure it out,
Recover.
Yeah, the way you recover. Oh, I love those moments when you get a really good actor in that doing that. And I feel like this would be the equivalent, that it was so cute they just had to put it in the movie, because somebody else could have just wiped it away. But the fact that she made the little face that they had to keep in there, I mean, someone else could have literally just either stopped the scene or
edited it out in post.
But the fact that this was the director's favorite and they kept it in, it's such a perfect little cherry on top. And it's such a small moment, but it is just so, I love it.
So furious at Dawn teasing Kathy after she does her performance, because she was trying to say that she's a real theater actress. And then there she is doing her little like her little chorus girl dance.
You know what else it reminded me of, just off the top of my head? Doesn't this remind you of the scene in A Star Is Born when they're showing Esther Blodgett's rise to fame, and they show her in the chorus line thing, and she gets her little she gets a place in the the chorus.
Oh, yeah, I can't remember.
Is it called Black Bottom?
I have no idea.
I don't know, but
yeah, it just reminded you of that.
Yeah. Anyway,
their rise to fame. Furious at Dawn, Kathy attempts to throw a cake at him, but he dodges it and it hits Lena instead. In, complete confusion and embarrassment, Kathy runs away. You had mentioned that they probably had to only get one take for that cake in the face, because it gets all over Lena's face and her wig and everything.
Yeah, I was like, Gene Hagen was probably like, you get one of these. And it was probably the end of the day. She got to do the one cake, and then it was a wrap.
It was a wrap. 3 weeks later, Dawn, a bit down in the dumps, has searched unsuccessfully for Kathy. Cosmo tries to cheer Dawn up with a number called Make 'Em Laugh. Before I get your thoughts on this song, I would like to say this I deep dived a bit, because I did know from film class when we studied this was one of the songs that we studied, because we spoke about plagiarism with music. And so this was
Escandalo.
Right? This was part of the reason why we watched Singing in the Rain in my film studies course, because we spoke about how there were some legalities of this song and how they could have been brutal. It could have been a brutal case. But basically, Freed and Brown, who wrote this brand new song for the movie, Make 'Em Laugh, it bears a striking resemblance to Cole Porter's Be a Clown from another MGM film, which was The Pirate in 1948.
Mm-hmm.
The co-director, who was Donen, he had asked the pair to write a song that was inspired by Be a Clown, even though it is considered to be a 100% plagiarized result. Cole Porter famously and notably never sued for copyright infringement, stating not necessary when they asked him about it. Is that like such a like baller move to be like, I don't have time to waste on this situation? Was
Yeah.
he just such a music tycoon and legend that he was just like unscathed by it?
At the time, I bet he was just, well, number one, he's Cole Porter, so he's huge. Number two, he was probably like, my version is better.
Mm,
And then number three, he was like, I don't have to sue you because now your version is going to be known as the copycat version of mine.
true.
So it's like, I do like Make 'Em Laugh,
Mm-hmm.
but, you know, reading this, it's interesting. I'm sure, I don't know how much of a splash this made back in the day, but
Right.
I think the guy just had better things to do.
Seriously. I had a sing-along Disney cassette that I would watch with my little cousins. Do you remember when they did those sing-along song at Disney,
Mhm.
you know?
With the bouncing ball?
Yeah. There was a live version that they did at Disneyland Park, and the sing-along had both these songs on the sing-along cassette, and I always used to think like, it's so strange, these songs sound so identical, not realizing later on in life that it was two completely different composers and lyricists that wrote the songs. Because back then as a kid I would just assume like, oh, these two must have been from the same music
Mhm.
catalog. But anyway, I just thought that that was funny that both these songs were on that Disney sing-along
Yeah.
cassette.
Plagiarism is such a weird slippery slope because now this one, they were literally asked to write the same song. So that would
Yeah,
be
it quote
100%.
unquote inspired by.
Yeah, but he wanted
Be a Clown.
Be a Clown. But I think now I feel like in 2026, if anybody releases an album, it's like people pick it apart and go, "Oh, that line sounds like this person or that line
Mhm.
sounds like that person." And it's like now I feel like people are just preemptively adding people to songs or like quickly adding somebody as like a writing credit just to not get sued.
I'm sure there's a percentage that like, well, now with technology, I'm sure that they can run it through a machine to see how much of it is coded as like the same exact melody or the same exact beats. But I mean, I guess it would be up to the artist if they decide they want to fight it or not fight it. I don't necessarily like skip to this song on a soundtrack. I'm not going out to listen to Make
Oh
'Em
yeah,
Laugh.
we haven't even really talked about the performance.
No, no, not at all yet. But I would say that the performance is great. The
Mhm.
slapstick elements are great.
Yeah, for the comedic part of the scene, that's what you watch it for. Like him with
definitely.
the dummy or the doll or whatever on the couch and like the
Hmm.
fight and the wrestling with this like with this doll. Like
Absolutely.
all of that is like what you're really watching it for, not for be a clown, make them laugh.
Exactly.
Or at least in my opinion.
There's a story about how, even though Donald is only 27 years old, he was a heavy chain smoker and he was bedridden for several days after he did film this sequence. So they gave him a little filming break after he had to film this
Because
film
he
the
couldn't
sequence.
breathe.
Guess so.
Oh
I
my
mean,
god.
but also how many times did they make him do this scene over and over and over again until they had exactly what they wanted? So
Probably a lot.
what we may see as a 3-minute scene for him could have been 3 hours. So the film that they're currently working on, called The Dueling Cavalier, Lena reveals that she had Kathy fired, and that, of course, upsets Dawn. The film gets shut down because they want to retool it to now be a talkie, since talkies are now taking Storm and the other
The Jazz Singer has
studios.
come out.
Right.
It's the biggest hit. Nobody knows what to do. So they're
Mhm.
like, we gotta shut down and retool what we're gonna do with our movie.
Cosmo ends up finding Kathy working as an extra in another monumental picture. And the scene we get of her working on this film as, you know, a chorus girl. The song we get here is called Beautiful Girl. I love this song. This is a song that I would go skip to want to listen to. It's a big chorus girl number. I mean, you were talking about the bigger budget moments. I feel like this is one of those big chorus girl type of numbers. I love the swanny, melancholy, tempo that this has. The singer does a great job. The shots are really, really cool. I think you're a sucker for these kind of like fashion montagey moments in like these old films, right?
Oh, for sure. I could really care less about the actual song. They're nice. I feel like so many of these movies have these songs all the way up until like Chicago. It kind of reminds me of like all he cares about is love. Like those kind of like the guy singing and all the women around him like kind of dancing.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
American in Paris had the French singer sing a song identical to this.
We just saw the Funny Girl one with the chandelier girls and everything, and all of them like, you know, and having their like.
Well, that being the fashion moment part, I am talking about the male singer with a bunch of females.
Right.
That song is
right. Very true. Very true.
Yeah. But yes, the fashion show,
monologues,
like different seasons and
a
events.
Springtime Girl is.
Oh my god! And the bride and this, like, it's it's so interesting to actually watch.
A bride will have her moments in the. It's literally.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, it's the same.
It's literally the same thing. So yeah, I liked it for that. I like all the fashion. I love, like, not to be rude, but like I was more transfixed on like watching every single model, and like some of the girls were so shaky up there, like they were in their pose and they're like and then there were some that I was like, oh my god, is that a mannequin? Like some of the girls were super still that I was like, the other girls were like, oh god, is it almost over? Like, I don't know. It was just that part of it was
heels are killing me.
Right? My ankles. So yeah, that part of it was fun.
Kathy ends up getting hired to work on a film with Zelda, and Cosmo goes and brings Dawn to go let him know, like, hey, guess what? I found Kathy. She's working as chorus girl, and basically
that's this beautiful girl moment.
Yes,
right? Okay,
and basically Dawn really helps like seal the deal here, letting them know like, oh, Kathy would be perfect for this, even though Kathy is like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to get this job because the last time I saw Dawn, I like flung a cake in Lena's face. So she's thinking like, oh my gosh, I can't believe Dawn's going to come ruin the moment, when really Dawn helps solidify to RF, letting him know like, oh no, I think that Kathy would be a great addition to whatever movie that's coming up with Zelda. And they end up doing they have like a little mini lunch date together.
But before that, I love Kathy's little moment, like before she like takes it upon herself to talk to you said RF?
Yes.
Yeah, she like takes it upon herself to be like, let me stop you before this goes any farther. I'm the one who threw the cake. Like, I know he's coming to fire me, so let me just tell you before. And he's like, no, I'm not. I think you'd be great. Da, da, da. So I thought that moment was really cute.
She's like, what?
Yeah.
They do have, oh yeah, so they do have their little lunch date after this. Walking around the studio, she actually admits to Dawn that she is a fan of his pictures, claiming that she has seen all of them. And while Dawn, professes his love to her, they step into a studio lot to have their song and dance number, which is called You Were Meant for Me. So things are progressing
Does she sing in the song? I can't remember.
rather
Or does
quickly.
she
Like
just stand
one
on the
line. No, she has like one line in
Okay.
this song.
I was like, did she just stand on the ladder the whole time?
No, she has like one song. The song it is pretty forgettable to me.
Yeah.
I hate to say it that way, but
Yeah.
this song is pretty forgettable. Very beautiful to watch. She's stunning, of course.
I like her purple dress.
Me too.
I like the backdrop. I like when he like turns on all the lights and turns on the smoke and turns on, like, it's all very big and beautiful to watch. But in general, with these older like MGM classics, like it's like there are how do I say it? There are a few that are both for me. You're either not crazy about the song but love to watch it, or the opposite.
Yeah, I wrote that in here actually in my notes. I said, I feel like this might be a theme for me up into this point with the movie. Loving the scenes and the dancing more than the actual song. So I'm not wrong in that. You're kind of feeling that too?
Yeah, the songs aren't bad. But yeah, even at this, like for this specific scene, I probably not dozed off, but I probably found my mind wandering because the other scenes are nice to look at or fun to look at because of what's happening is interesting, even though the song might not be the best. Whereas it's a very pretty song, but the scene is so boring to me that I'm just like, let me research some notes right now because I don't really care about this ladder scene. Like,
it's I'm not too what's the word? Melancholy?
Yeah. Sugar coated.
Okay.
Like, to me, it didn't really interest me.
And it's the first time where the actual vibe and style, it does change a bit. It's a bit disconjointed. And I had mentioned to you during it, I'm like, I'm getting a little bit of Vincent Minnelli here with like the vibe of it was tiptoeing into American in Paris style for me, which later on we dive head first into American in Paris style. But right here, I'm starting to get a little bit of that. And although I do think it's a creative style, I'm like, I'm with you. I'm a little bit disconnected for this song.
Totally.
Because RF decides he has to convert the next Lockhart and Lamont film, The Dueling Cavalier, into a talkie, he decides to send Lena and Dawn to take actual elocution lessons. Elocution?
I went to school with her.
This is where we get, Lena's iconic, and I can't stand him.
And I can't stand him.
We have a little bit of a cut between Lena and Dawn's scenes here, which breaks into another song where Cosmo is trying to lighten the mood with his Moses Supposes song number.
The way I like quote this silly song title like all the time, like, you hear me around the house going like Moses Supposes, but like I don't know the lyrics, so I'm just like rhyming stuff. Like, it's just, that is a stupid line that gets stuck in your head.
Oh my gosh. I gotta say, I do personally want to rip my ears out listening to this song. I don't like it. I don't like the performance of it. This is not an earworm song to me. This is a it's not this out of my head.
No, but it's not an earworm that's good. Like that you like. It's an earworm that like it's so silly
and it gets stuck.
Yeah, like I think it's fun. I like when he's doing the lines and Cosmo's behind the teacher doing his faces,
like mocking him. And
I like when I enjoy them together in all of their performances. Like, I think that they I think that
Like
I was reading up on their chemistry during the film, or their friendship when it came to filming this and beyond. I think because I wanted to look up, of course, Debbie Reynolds and her experience, because it's one of those rumors that you kind of hear all the time when it comes to Singing in the Rain, is that she was a newcomer. She was not at the caliber of Gene Kelly, and she had to work so hard, and he worked her to the bone, and she was dancing till her feet bled. And it's just one of those urban legends that kind of, comes out. I guess you can't call it an urban legend because it's been confirmed, but it's just one of those stories. And I was curious, like, was it the same for Donald O'Connor? And when I was reading up on it, it looks like Gene Kelly in general was a perfectionist, and he wanted things right, and he did have a tendency to kind of blow up on set, and he was very, very hard on the people that he worked with. But I think that the reason they were able to stay friends is because, was there tension on set? Yes. But Donald O'Connor was able to understand and take it that this man just wants us to have a perfect film. Now, should he be screaming at people? No, but he didn't take it personally. So even though that they may have had some blow ups between them, maybe he considered him a friend for the rest of his life. So
very cool. That's cool.
And I think, he probably made him better. He probably made him a better dancer and a better performer, because Gene, being a perfectionist and having to be in these scenes together, he probably wanted to go and watch these things and make sure that everything looked good. So yeah, I was
as
curious.
A pair, you love them together
because he could really keep up.
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah, for sure.
There's no funny footwork. There's no like hiding behind a chair or a couch. They're not having to do these cutaways. Like, I think you can kind of tell when someone is a bad dancer in a movie, or they couldn't quite get it right, because you're going to see a lot of cutaway scenes to people's reactions where maybe a bad clunky foot might have been.
Totally know what you mean.
But when you can show a scene from beginning to end and like long without any cutaways,
totally
know that they did it right.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
Good on them. Love watching them together. It's a silly, silly song.
Oh my god, the worst song to me. And here we are with these outfits again. I mean, particularly I love Cosmo's outfit, which is like this cute little like sweater, tie, slacks. Oh, just so cute. But they both just look great.
I just don't have the body for an outfit like that.
Oh my gosh.
You really have to have a sleek physique because these pants are high.
I love the trousers so much.
The trousers are high. The sweater cut is high. There's no room to hide anything.
No. The belt is tight.
If I wore that, I would have a fupa. So,
but I love the costumes here.
Yeah.
As we pick up the filming of the production, they're having difficulties now, most notably with Lena's, high-pitched grating voice, and her unfamiliarity with the new recording technology, which of course leads to, numerous situations and blunders that are driving the director, Roscoe, like crazy. It's like driving him to tears. This is another pretty played out, I shouldn't say played out like in a bad way, an overplayed moment where we get a lot of this. It's like another, what's the word I'm looking for? Oscar-worthy type of scene of just her acting, because this is just one of those people that one of those scenes. Everyone remembers this scene when they talk about this movie, about the microphone placement in her bosom, and then it hears her heartbeat on her shoulder, and then she's talking away from the microphone, where she's like, Pierre, and like people like this is just moments that are such scene stiller moments. And I think that
you've probably really got to give it up to Betty Comden and Adolph Green. Like, if they wrote, like, they're the screenwriters, and they wrote a funny scene, and like these are the things that you remember. I
Yeah.
feel like you remember these scenes and these comedic moments more than you remember a lot of the actual performances.
Yeah, I would say that too.
And not in a bad way. That just means that the actors that they had were the comedy level was at such a high caliber that you remember these. Obviously, you remember Good Morning and Singin' in the Rain. There are a lot of classic songs in this. I just mean they also had great comedy actors.
I think you're right. I think that it speaks, it goes a long way to know that this is a movie musical and Jean Hagen has no songs in it, and yet she's the one who ends up being the recognized actor at the Academy Awards. You know what I'm saying? Like, so clearly these acting scenes were written in that style.
Too bad this didn't really. I say this, but I haven't looked it up. Too bad this hasn't been like a huge Broadway show, because this could be one. Broadway loves a celebrity casting. They could celebrity cast the hell out of this with so many funny actors that do not sing, come in and just kill it with these comedy scenes.
Agreed.
And it could be month after month after month. This person gets a 6-week run. Then you've got another. Like, it could be endless. And it just...
Jennifer Tilly, you've got the money. Go do it. Go revive this for Broadway and get on stage as Lena.
Oh my God, that would be so good. That would be perfection, actually.
It would be. We have a jump in time here after this scene to the film's preview screening.
So the film has now been completed.
The film is done. We do a time jump, and the screening is a failure due to multiple complications, including all of those awkward microphone placements. And
this is another memorable scene with like the pearls clacking.
The pearls clacking is so memorable.
I mean, every foot stomp is loud.
Don's fishy squishy footprints that he's doing all around.
Fishy squid.
But yeah, it's so funny. Like the sound, the way they edited the sound cues and the sound blunders in this is too funny. Later that night, Kathy, oh, you know what? And they also clown on Don because people are realizing, oh crap, like maybe he's not such a great actor after all.
Yeah.
He's such an uninspired type of performer that people are like, what is happening? Like,
yeah,
it seems cheesy.
It seems like it was just bad all around, not just that they were like technically having such a hard time filming it with the mics,
right?
But the fact that like he on set, didn't he actually make the comment of like, can't I just do my I love yous? And he's like, whatever, let's just get it done. And so then he's like, I love you, I love you, I love you. And the people are just like mocking him because it was just so terrible. This scene kind of brings up what I was kind of saying earlier when it came to Lena, is that obviously she had a career before Dawn. So did she do radio interviews? Did she do... And now we're actually getting her first screen role in a preview with it looks audio. Like what, 1,000 people in there? Because theaters were huge back then. Theaters back then were like, we get these little cineplexes now that have like 20 theaters in them, and each theater has a couple hundred seats. Back then, a theater, like, because there were less theaters in the world, these theaters were as big as like when you go see a Broadway show. And you look at all the people that were in there, and they just watched this movie with Lena and her super nasal voice. How did these rumors never come out? Like, how did people not talk and say like, oh my God, did you hear Lena Lamont's voice? She like, what is this voice that she has? So I understand that later when we get in the plot, we have the next section of the plot that happens and the twist. But how did it never come out that Lena had this voice pre or post talkies?
The imagination we have to have that no one has heard Lena speak in public
you really
is kind
have
of wild.
Suspend your disbelief.
You really do. Later that night, Kathy and Cosmo suggest The Dueling Cavalier be turned into a musical. The trio is hanging out for dinner, and Kathy and Cosmo are like, why don't you turn it into a musical? And Cosmo, inspired by the film's weird synchronization error that happened,
Mhm.
Cosmo suggests that Kathy dub Lena's voice. So this is what Jeffrey was talking about in regards to the next like big plot movement to the story we have here. Cosmo's like, why don't we just use Kathy to do all of the spoken words and the singing? Don agrees to this only if it is just for this one picture, because he doesn't want this to overshadow or taint Kathy's path on her own career.
Mhm. That's very sweet of him, because
It is.
when you're watching it, it's not these two men that are trying to convince this girl, like, just do this one time and then we promise we're gonna help you. Like, Cosmo brings it up. Kathy's like, that is a great idea.
I'm down.
She literally even says, which I'm like, it's the perfect example of like putting aside personal and just making it about the work. Because she says, let's save Lena, let's save Lockhart and Lamont.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Lena Lamont has been so mean to her, but she's
Mhm.
thinking about the studio and she's thinking about these big movies and thinking about Lamont as an entity almost,
Mhm.
like not about like this woman hates me and she's trying to ruin my career. She's like, let's save Lockhart and Lamont and make them a hit again.
Mhm.
And I'm like, and then it's Don who's like, no, I don't want to do this to you, and he's the one that's the hesitant one, but she's really thinking about it in like a business stance.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I was like, that's a cool scene. That
It is a great
the
scene.
way they filmed it and the way that they wrote it was very interesting, and I really, really liked it.
We're so used to, I think, a lot of these films having like the sexist man that's just gonna like be misogynist about it and be like, well, why wouldn't you do
take
it,
advantage and be like, please do this for me. And she's like, I don't know. But like, this is literally like, I agree, let's do this.
Mhm.
I'm on board.
It makes the trio so much more lovable.
Mhm.
Which brings us to the big Good Morning number. What are your thoughts on Good Mornin'?
Love it. It's probably the second most known number. And I feel like we have seen this dance and this couch part at the end. We've seen it. People take inspiration or even just pay homage to this couch. I mean, we've seen it in like Charlie's Angels.
Sure.
They do like the couch
walk
and fall and giggle. Like, you know, it's just one of those iconic scenes from this movie that like people know and it's kind of ingrained in their brain.
Totally.
I love it. I think it's cute. I think they're all great together. Their chemistry is wonderful. I do also want to say I love Debbie Reynolds' outfit here with like the lightning bolt across her sweater.
Yeah.
It's so cute. It's so sleek and classy and cute. And I love, as much as I love Hollywood glamour, I love Hollywood glamour when you're supposed to be like hanging out and like normal.
Sure.
Like those kind of, like how you said that you loved Cosmo and Don's sweaters and their slacks.
Yeah.
That's something that's supposed to be their normal everyday outfit.
Right.
And then this is not a glamorous gown. It's her hanging out at the apartment or hanging out at the house. And it's so cute and it's so of the time. And I just love its simplicity, but also just how sleek it is.
Yeah. I and Debbie's just so smooth in this scene with the boys, you know? It's, once again, it's nice that we're getting this type of character in a film like this. It's not always just about the bombshell starlets
or the damsel in distress.
Yeah.
She's just a normal girl that, you know, was so likable. And she didn't have, she wasn't the sex bomb and she wasn't the damsel in distress. She was just a normal girl that had a voice and could give it back to you just as much as you gave it to her. Like she was, you know, going back to her car scene, like the way that she could kind of go back and forth with Don. I just love Kathy's character. She's adorable.
Yeah. Maybe this inspired, not to speak for her and her legacy, but maybe this inspired a lot of Carrie Fisher's writing technique when writing females for film, because this is a very much not damsel-y type of role.
And she's not a vulgar character at all, but she definitely can, like, she can hang with the boys and she could, you know, give it right back. Serve it right back.
She's kind of like the Anastasia animated character that Carrie had to come in and ghost save.
Totally.
She had to come in and ghost save that script because, yeah, she was called in to be an addition to Anastasia's scenes. They needed a different writer to voice Anastasia.
We're talking about the 1997 Anastasia animated film. They had Carrie Fisher come in and ghostwrite a lot of Anastasia / Anya, her dialogue to make her more normal, I guess. Like, give her like normal girl. Like, it didn't seem like, hello, my name is, like, they wanted her to sound natural.
Yeah, they didn't want her Disney, quote unquote, Disney princess like, you know?
It is funny though that you also talked about going back to the actual Good Morning scene, just talking about their chemistry together. I kind of touched on it a little while ago when we were talking about Donald O'Connor, because I wanted to look up this whole, you know, the stories you hear about her being on set for this movie, and like, what was it like for her? Because she was 19 when she filmed this, you guys. Like, that is a lot to put on someone's shoulders for a young actor to come in and have to be this role with these professionals. And so I kind of was looking online and kind of doing a little bit of research, and it just says that her filming experience at 19 was grueling and traumatic, described as one of the hardest things she's ever did alongside childbirth. Despite having no dance experience, she was pushed by Gene Kelly to train 8 hours a day, leading her to break down in tears under a piano where Fred Astaire comforted her. Like, I'm sure it's a lot, because you watch her and you go, like you said, they're so good together, but she got pushed to the brink because she just was not a dancer. So you really have to give it up to her to
keep up,
get herself to that level where she could keep up with these two professionals.
Wow. That is really incredible and inspiring too.
It also says she adored Donald O'Connor. It seems like people just loved him. Who taught her to do a backflip and supported her on set.
Nice.
Did she do a backflip in the movie? Or maybe
in general.
Maybe just in between scenes, he was like, you want to learn how to do a backflip? I don't know. It sounds kind of random, but I'm sure it's just what friends do on the side, like just kind of hanging out. But I don't remember her doing a backflip. So
we'll have to YouTube it. After Don takes Kathy home, spellbound by her enchantment, he does perform the next musical number, but you're going to have to stay tuned for part 2 to know what the next musical number is.
Like, anybody listening to this doesn't know what the next one is.
And hasn't seen this.
I wonder what's going to be next.
That brings us to the end of part 1. Thanks for hanging in there with us for this one. We hope it doesn't end up sounding clunky after it's edited, because weirdly, we had 2 power outages during this recording, you guys.
I was literally about to bring that up and say, you guys, we're fighting for our lives over here.
Oh my gosh.
We've had the power go out twice now. And each time, well, more the first time than the second, but the first time when the power went off, I thought that we had lost our whole hour of recording.
Not realizing Riverside. Shout out to Riverside.
I know. Shout out to
the autosave.
Jeez, but I was like, oh my God, it's all gone.
And then I would like a dork. I was like, oh, I'll just plug it into my laptop and we can keep recording. And Jeffrey was like, we don't have Wi-Fi though.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that's right.
I was like, does it have a hotspot or something?
No, it does not. But yes, thank you all so much for joining us on today's episode. If you like our content, please continue to listen and go follow us on social media. They can find us
at Hollywood Hubbies on TikTok and Instagram.
You
can also follow my music clips
Please
page.
do.
At Fave, Fave, musical clips.
Drop us the comments. You know, we like hearing from y'all. We're trying to move forward even into, you know, maybe doing a couple episodes with like guest speakers on here, but we're definitely trying to grow this. And we appreciate everybody for listening and being fans, especially our coworkers and our personal family friends and things like that. We thank you all for listening and not giving up.
I know, I love hearing from people who are not musical fans that are like, "I watched this movie. I watched it because I
Mhm.
wanted to watch it before the next one," and they've actually never seen it before. Those are the ones that I'm like, "Oh, that's so cool." Like, thanks for watching. If you weren't normally a musical theater or musical movie person, thank you. Thank you for your support.
All right. Stay tuned for next episode, you guys.
Bye.
Bye.